Welcome back to another fantabulousness episode of the Reckless Wrench Garage. That's really hot. You probably shouldn't lean on that. If you've been watching the last two episodes of the drift truck build, you may have noticed our Back to the Future stance. We do a lot of talking crap about stance, and I feel like we nailed it. We got the camber. Oh, I think we got it the wrong way. Well, on this episode, we're going to fix it. Currently has some K-Sport coilovers on it. They've seen better days. The upper mounts on the fronts are both broken, hence the Back to the Future. The rears, don't know what condition they're in, but they've been on here since I originally started building the car. So it's been a couple of years and they've just been sitting. We may end up rebuilding them, we're not too sure. But for now, we wanted to go ahead and just throw another set on there. So we found what we'd like to consider an economical choice. You may have heard of them. You may have seen them on some other channels. We got ourselves a full set of coilovers from MaXpeedingrods.
MaXpeedingrods?
MaXpeedingrods? MaXpeedingrods?
Yeah, bro, I got those MaXpeedingrods.
That's right, MaXpeedingrods. As far as my experience with coilovers on cars go, I've had K-Sport, as you can see. I've had JICs, Tanes, HKS, Cusco, BC Racing. You know, I've had my fair share of experience with different coilovers. Mostly autocross, drifting, some daily driving, and you know, I have my preferences on which ones I enjoy the most. It'll be nice to see how these do. Considering the cost of these, it all feels pretty sturdy. I've taken it apart. I've checked all the threads on these, compressed them, let them rebound. They do exactly what they're supposed to. They do react to the adjustment like I'm assuming they should. One thing I do like, the fronts come with spherical bearings on the top mount, which I consider better. It gives you a better feel. You don't have to worry about rubber mounts wearing out and, you know, coming apart. I've never had a spherical bearing break on me, so maybe that's the damper adjustment right on the top, like it is on many of the other coilovers that you're going to find. It doesn't seem to feel quite as noticeable when you adjust them. You can feel the detent, but it's not as noticeable as a lot of the other ones that I've had before. It almost feels like there's no detent in some spots. We'll see how that goes. May have to mess around with it a little bit. The lower mounts for the rears are rubber. I did ask them some questions about it. They don't seem to have lower spherical bearing mounts, but they do for the uppers, front and rear. I got a set of coilovers for an S14, and I'm going to swap out the top hats with some of the other ones that I have. But you can order spherical bearing top mounts through them. They're constantly updating their website, so if you don't see something now, check back in, you know, a couple days, couple weeks, and something may be updated that you need. But you can also send them an email, and they respond pretty quick. And that's one thing that's always nice, is customer service and people responding to questions and inquiries. We won't be able to really tell you, yes, this is a good product until, you know, we get this thing on the track and we get it tested out, at which point we're going to do a review on them. But for now, if you're unsure about it, but you're in the market for some coilovers, you can always look at the Hoonigans. That BMW shit car, that's got MaXpeedingrod coilovers on it, clapped out. The S14 drag car has coilovers from MaXpeedingrods up front. You know, those are just two of them that I know of off the top of my head. But feel free to check them out and see what they think about the coilovers. and then we'll get back to you with our thoughts. Yeah, that's the wrong way. Don't do it that way. Like 10 times more difficult than it needed to be. So we got the coilovers installed. We're not quite ready to set ride height yet because we'd have to put it back on the ground, but we still have so much more work to do underneath. The exhaust, the steering, a little more suspension work, the brakes. Still quite a bit to do. We're going to compile all that into another episode and get that to you guys later. But for now, if you like the episode, do the thing, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to go check out MaXpeedingrods.com if you guys are in the market for some coilovers and you want them at a pretty low price compared to most. Yeah, and as always, stay reckless.